If you are a residential interior designer saying, I need more clients, but you are not nurturing the clients you already know, like, and trust, and have paid you money, you may not have a lead problem. You may have a relationship problem. And I say that with love because sometimes the next best client does not come from a brand new marketing strategy. Sometimes the next best client comes from the homeowner whose primary suite you designed 3 years ago, or the builder who loved working with you, but maybe hasn't heard from you since the project wrapped. Or maybe it's the realtor who keeps selling homes to your exact dream clients, but you've never taken the time to build a relationship. Perhaps it's a past client whose kids are getting older, whose home no longer functions the way it once did, and who would happily hire you again if you were still top of consciousness. Ooh, that's a tough one. We're going to talk about it. So today we are talking about the advice I gave at High Point Market. Why aren't you on LinkedIn if you want to reach executives, professionals, builders, architects, realtors, and high net worth homeowners? Why aren't you taking better care of the clients you already have instead of constantly going on the hunt for new ones? And why aren't you spending more time where your best clients spend their time? Why aren't you learning more about what your clients actually want, need, fear, and value? And then, because we are coming off market, we're also going to talk trends. Green, apricot, blush, dusty blue instead of navy. Yeah, Cabernet, chocolate, moody blues, lighter furniture, cognac leather, bone-colored leather, and even the Margaritaville collection from Hooker. Yeah, but we're not going to talk about trends just to talk about what is pretty, folks. You know this podcast far too well for that. We're going to talk about what those trends mean for your residential clients, because your job is not just to know what is in. Your job is to understand what people are responding to. Welcome back to Success by Design. I'm Kitty Decker Erickson, and I am so excited to talk to you today, coming straight off of High Point Market. I am jet lagged, and yes, I got in on a midnight flight, but I am excited to share this episode with you. The Interior Design Society, who I love and adore, hosted a wonderful panel, and I had the privilege of being a part of it. It was one of those conversations that reminded me why I love this industry so much. Because when you get designers in a room, especially designers who are trying to grow and evolve and serve better clients and create more sustainable businesses, the questions underneath the questions are always so revealing. For instance, you ask, how do I find better clients? Or how do I get clients with bigger budgets? How do I stop attracting people who just want a deal? How do I move beyond one-off rooms? How do I find clients who trust me? How do I get people to see the value of full service design? And these are all very valid questions. But I think the deeper question is this: are you building your business around the client you say you want? Because a lot of residential designers say they want better clients, but they are not actually showing up in the places where better clients are paying attention. I hear you saying you want referrals, but you're not nurturing referral partners. And you want repeat work, but you're not staying in touch with past clients. Perhaps you want bigger projects, but your content is still talking mostly about pretty rooms instead of the deeper transformation that happens when a home finally supports the people living inside it. So today I want to lovingly challenge you, not with shame, not with hustle, not with you need to do more. I hope you know me well enough by now to know that is not it. I'm going to give you strategy, because there is a difference between being busy and being intentional. And a lot of you are very, very busy. I saw you at market. You were tired, but you were getting it done. But you're busy with not always the activities that lead to the clients you actually want. So let's picture this. You're a designer. I know you're talented. You care deeply. You obsess over the details. You know how to layer a room. You know how to solve awkward floor plans. You can walk into a house and immediately see why the family is frustrated, and why that living room never gets used, and why the kitchen feels disconnected, why the primary bedroom feels like an afterthought, or why the home technically looks fine, but it doesn't feel like them. You have this skill. You have the taste and the experience, but you're looking at your business and thinking, why am I still chasing clients? Why do I feel like every project starts from zero? Why do I get inquiries from people who say they love my work, but then disappear? Or as one of the designers asked as we were on panel at High Point, I give them the proposal and then they ghost me. Why am I getting asked for a consultation when what they really want is free advice? Why am I still explaining my design costs and why it costs what it costs? And why am I not getting referred into the rooms I want to be in? And so you assume the answer is more marketing, more posting, more reels, more visibility, more networking, photos, everything. But before we jump to more, I want to ask a better question. Are you visible to the right people? That is the question. Because if you want to work with high net worth homeowners and executives and professionals, perhaps empty nesters or families building custom homes, maybe it's clients buying second, third, or fourth homes. Maybe the fourth home's in London, or people making meaningful investments in the way you live. You have to think about where those people are at. Now, they may be on Instagram, yes, but they may also be on LinkedIn. They may be in professional circles. They may be connected to wealth advisors, realtors, architects, builders, attorneys, physicians, founders, executives, and other community leaders. Maybe they're attending charity events, school fundraisers, or golf tournaments, chamber banquets, art auctions, private club events, neighborhood gatherings, and board meetings. They may be asking their realtor who to call. They may be asking their builder. They may be asking their architect, and they may be asking the friend whose house always feels pulled together. So if your entire visibility strategy is built around impressing other designers on Instagram, God, I wish I had a whistle and we could just blow it, because you need a timeout. Because don't get me wrong, your peers may admire you, but your clients are going to write your paycheck. They need to find you, trust you, remember you, and understand why hiring you is going to change the way they live. And that, my friends, is work. I want to talk about LinkedIn for a minute because it came up at the panel. And I know some of you hear LinkedIn and think, wah, 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 that's not where my clients are, Katie. And I just want a really pretty Instagram grid. I'm going to challenge that for you today. If your ideal client is an executive, an entrepreneur, an attorney, physician, founder, everyone I just described, LinkedIn is exactly where they're at. And don't get me wrong, I do not get paid by LinkedIn. They are not a sponsor of the show. They may not be scrolling LinkedIn for fabric selections, but your ideal clients are there in a professional mindset. They are there thinking about leadership, growth, transitions. Maybe it's relocation, achievement, hiring, teams, decisions, and quality of life. And look at that. Your work touches all of it, because your designs are not about just making a home pretty. They're about creating a home that supports a full life. It is about helping a CEO come home to a space that lets their nervous system exhale. It's about helping a family finally use the rooms they paid for. It's about helping empty nesters reimagine a home after the kids have flown the nest. And it is about helping a couple navigate a renovation without letting the process take over their entire life. It is about helping a busy professional make thousands of decisions with clarity and confidence. And it is about creating a home that reflects who someone has become, not just who they were when they bought the house. And that belongs on LinkedIn. Now, it's not because you need to post like a corporate consultant, but because you can speak to the life and leadership side of home. For example, instead of posting, love designing this beautiful primary suite, you could post, one of the most overlooked investments for high-performing professionals is a bedroom that actually supports rest. This primary suite was designed to help our clients end the day well, sleep better, and start the next morning with less visual noise. Doesn't that feel amazing? Instead of saying before and after of this kitchen renovation, maybe you say, this kitchen was not just outdated, it was creating friction in the family's daily life. The parents cooked while the kids did homework in another room. Hosting felt stressful. Storage was working against them. The redesign created a central hub that now supports dinner, homework, entertaining, and everyday connection. What a difference that makes. I'm going to hit you with one more example, the third one. Instead of new project reveal, you could say, when a home no longer fits the way you live, the issue is not always square footage. Sometimes the issue is flow, function, and decision fatigue. This project was about helping the client fall back in love with the home they already owned. Do you hear the difference? See, this isn't salesy because I know a lot of you are like, Katie, I don't do sales. You do, but you do it in your own way because this is about leadership and education and helping a potential client see themselves in your work. All right, I want to talk about the client you already have. And this is something that may sting a little. Why are we so quick to look for new clients when we have not fully cared for the clients we already have? And I know this one gets personal because design is intimate work. You know your clients' names. You know where they drop their keys. You know which spouse cares about storage and which one cares about the sectional. You know how they host. You know whether they drink coffee at the island or in the bedroom before the kids wake up. You know where the dog sleeps. And you know whether they're embarrassed by the basement. You know where the dining room is aspirational or whether it's just a secondary thought. You know their home is supporting them. And you know where it maybe isn't. And that is so valuable. And yet so often after the project ends, we disappear. We install, we photograph, we invoice, we send that thank you gift, and then we move on. But what if the relationship didn't end there? What if the client heard from you again at 30 days? What are you loving most now that you've lived in the space for a few weeks? What if they heard from you at 90 days? Is there anything you wish we had adjusted now that your family is settled in? What if they heard from you before the holidays? I was thinking of you as hosting season approaches. Here are 3 simple ways to get your home ready for the season without overcomplicating things. And what if they even heard from you a year later? I can't believe it's been a year since your project was completed. I would love to know how the space is serving you now. And what if you sent them a note when their child graduated, when they bought a second home, when they changed jobs, when they hosted an event, and when they posted something meaningful? That is not manipulation. This is relationship. And relationship is the foundation of a great design firm. If you serve your clients well during the project, they may be happy. But if you serve them well after the project, they remember you. And remember, designers get repeat work, referrals, and trust much faster than strangers do. So here's the misdiagnosis I'm seeing all the time. Designers think I need more leads. And sometimes, yes, you do. But often what you really need is a stronger relationship ecosystem. This involves better follow-up, better messaging, deeper client understanding, stronger referral partnerships, and being known in the circles where the ideal client is already seeking advice. Because you often do not hire based on a cold search alone. Your clients are hiring through trust. They ask, who did your house? Who helped with your renovation? Who do you know who can help us with furnishings? Who does your builder recommend? Who does your realtor love? Who worked on that house we saw at the fundraiser? Who is good but also organized? Who can handle the whole thing? Who will make this easier? And this last question is big. Who will make this easier? Residential clients are not just buying your eye. They are buying relief. They are buying decision-making support. They are buying advocacy. They are buying someone who can help them avoid expensive mistakes. They are buying a guide through a process they may only experience a few times in their life, and they are buying back their time. And if you are only showing pictures of the finished room, you may be underselling the real value. See, the finished room is proof, but the process is the product. The confidence is the product. Your clarity is the product, and their peace of mind is the product. See, that ability to host Thanksgiving without hating your kitchen, that's the product. And the ability to come home after a brutal workday and feel held by your environment, you know what I'm going to say, it's the product. The ability to stop arguing about the renovation because someone else is handling it, that's the product. So if your marketing is only showing beauty, you're making your future clients guess the rest. Do not make them guess. You've got to start telling them. What is really happening for many of you is this. You are showing the output, but not the transformation. You are showing the room, but not the reason. You're showing the sofa, but not the problem that it actually solved. You're showing a kitchen, but not the family rhythm it restored. You are showing the color palette, but not the emotional shift it created. You're showing the nursery, but not the life transition it supported. Maybe you're showing the second home, but not the dream it represented. And because of that, potential clients may admire the work without understanding why they actually need you and just you. Because admiration does not always convert, folks. Recognition does. And that potential client needs to think, that is me. That is my problem. How did they know that's what I want? This is exactly what I've been trying to explain. Or that is the kind of guide I need. This, friends, is why learning more about your clients matters. You need to know what they are really buying. Sometimes they are buying beauty, but often they're buying time, confidence, relief, identity, ease, function, a fresh start, a better daily rhythm, a home that fits a new season of life, a place where their grown children want to come back, a home that helps them entertain, a second home that feels like an escape, a primary suite that feels like restoration, a kitchen that finally works for how they actually live. Once you understand that, guess what happens? Your messaging changes. Your sales calls change. Your project processes change. Your client experience changes and your referrals change because people do not just refer the designer who made things pretty. They refer the designer who made the process feel safe, clear, and worth it. Now, where are your clients spending their time? One of the biggest questions I want to ask of you is this. Can you answer? Where do my clients spend their time before they need me? Before they hire me, where are they? Are they talking to realtors? Are they touring homes? Maybe they're meeting with builders or sitting with architects. Are they at school auctions? Are they at charity luncheons? Are they at church events or country clubs? Maybe they're in the neighborhood Facebook group. Are they on LinkedIn? Are they asking their wealth advisor about selling or buying property or talking to friends over dinner? Maybe they're attending local business events. Are they reading regional magazines? Are they following local builders and architects? Are they asking their contractor for a referral? See, this is where you need to be visible. Not everywhere, just strategically somewhere. And referral partners are everything. They are a marketing strategy. So start asking yourself, do the best builders in my market know what I do? Do the architects understand how I support their clients? Do realtors know when to bring me in? Do organizers, art consultants, landscapers, and custom workrooms know how to refer me? And do past clients have language for how to describe me? Do people in my community know the type of client and project I'm best suited for? If not, this is your assignment. Because sometimes people do not refer. It's not because they don't like you. They just don't refer you because they don't understand exactly when to think of you. Not what to think of you, but when to think of you. You need to train your network. You can say, hey, we're a right fit for whole home furnishings where the client wants a full service experience. Or we specialize in helping busy families make their homes more beautiful and functional without managing every design decision themselves. Or we're a great partner for custom build clients who want their interiors to feel as intentional as the architecture. Or perhaps we love working with empty nesters who are ready for their homes to reflect this next season of life. See, that gives people a handle and people refer what they understand. I want to go deeper. Why don't we spend more time learning what our clients actually want and need? Because this is where the real insight kicks in. Your residential client may tell you they want a new living room, but what they really want is a home where people gather. And they may tell you they want a kitchen renovation, but what they really want is to stop feeling embarrassed when people come over. They may tell you they need help with furniture, but what they really want is to feel like an adult in their own home. They may tell you they want something more elevated, but what they really mean is, I've changed and my home is not caught up. They may tell you they want a timeless home, but what they really mean is, I'm afraid of spending a lot of money and regretting it. They may tell you they need help picking finishes, but what they really need is someone to protect them from decision fatigue. And that is deeper work. See, when you understand the deeper work, you can speak to the deeper need. Here's the actionable exercise I have for you. Go back through your last 5 projects. Okay, I'm going to cut you some slack. Do 3 and ask, what did the client say they wanted at the beginning? What did they actually need? What fear did they have? What decision felt hardest for them? What made them trust? What made the project successful in their eyes? And what did they thank us for in the end? And that last one is really important. What did they thank us for at the end? Because clients will often tell you your value after the project is over. They may say, oh, I couldn't have done this without you. Or you made it so much easier. Or you saved us from making so many mistakes. You helped my husband and me get on the same page. Or maybe it's you understand what I wanted before I could explain it. Or you made our house finally feel like us. And see, these are not just compliments. These are marketing messages. Use them. All right, so what do you do with all of this? I've thrown a lot at you today, and here is the framework. Know who you want to be known by, not just people with money. That is not a client profile. Do you want to be known by business executives, maybe young families? Think about who is your target market. Is it second homeowners? Maybe it's empty nesters. Clients building legacy homes. Once you know who you want to reach, you can ask where they spend their time and what they care about. Okay, number 2, speak to the transformation, not the room. Every project should answer what was not working before, what did the client want, what did they fear, what did we solve, and how does the home function differently now? That, friends, is the story. Then, number 3, I want you to build a client care system. Do not leave repeat work and referrals to chance, folks. You've got to create a rhythm. 30 days after install, 90 days after install, 6 months after install, 1 year after install, before hosting season, before summer, before back to school, before maybe a big life transition. Make it simple, make it personal, but whatever you do, make it consistent. All right, I want you to build a referral partner relationship. Identify 10 people who are already connected to your ideal client. Realtors, builders, architects, contractors, mortgage brokers, estate attorneys. I mean, it runs down the list. And start building actual relationships. Not, can you send me clients? But how can I make you look good when you refer me? What do your clients struggle with during a renovation? When do you wish a designer was brought in earlier? What kind of projects are you seeing more of, and how can I be a resource to you? See, that is how you become memorable. Also, I want you to use LinkedIn strategically. You do not need to become a LinkedIn influencer. You need to become visible and credible to the people who can hire you or refer you. So post about the hidden value of hiring a designer early, or how design reduces renovation overwhelm, or why full service design saves clients time. Maybe it's, what makes a project run smoothly, or lessons you learned from High Point if you were there. See, this is a residential thought leadership model, and most designers are not doing it well, which means you've got an opportunity. So here's the mindset shift. The old belief is, if my work is beautiful enough, clients will come. The new belief is, my work matters, but I have to help the right clients understand why it matters to their life. Your portfolio matters. Your photography matters, your aesthetic matters, but your ability to articulate value matters too. Because high-level residential clients are not just asking, do I like her work? They're asking, can I trust her? Will she understand me? Will she make this easier? Will she protect my investment and listen? How is she going to manage the process? Is she going to help me make decisions and work with my builder and architect? Ooh, will she tell me the truth? Will she make my home feel like me, not like everyone else? Your marketing needs to answer those questions before they ever get on a call. And that is not being salesy, folks. That is being clear. And clarity is kind.